Ever wondered how crucial information gathering is in the world of pen testing? You see, in the vast and complex landscape of cybersecurity, this initial step forms the bedrock of any successful penetration testing operation. It's about understanding the terrain before diving in. It's about knowing your target. Imagine attempting to crack a safe without knowing the number of tumblers or the type of lock mechanism. Sounds tough, doesn't it? That's exactly what pen testing without thorough information gathering is like. It's a blindfolded journey through a maze of potential threats and vulnerabilities. The dangers of overlooking this crucial step cannot be overstated. Without a comprehensive understanding of the target system, a pen tester may miss critical vulnerabilities or waste precious time on irrelevant threats. It's like trying to put together a jigsaw puzzle without knowing what the final picture should look like. Indeed, without information gathering, even the most skilled pen tester would be navigating blindly. Now, you might be asking, how does one gather valuable information for a pen test? Well, the process of information gathering in pen testing is a step-by-step journey, typically divided into 3 stages. Each stage has its own unique purpose and methods, and while we won't delve too deep into the specifics here, it's important to grasp the overall flow. First up is the passive stage. This is where you're essentially in stealth mode, gathering information without directly interacting with the target system. Think of it as being a detective, observing from the shadows. You might use public databases, social media, or even the target's own website to gather as much information as you can. The goal here is to understand the target's digital footprint and identify potential points of weakness, all without alerting anyone to your presence. Once you've collected enough passive data, you move to the active stage. Now, you're engaging directly with the target system, but still in a non-threatening way. You might conduct network scanning, port scanning, or DNS queries. This stage helps you validate the information gathered passively and uncover more details about the system's structure and vulnerabilities. It's a bit like knocking on the walls of a house looking for weak spots. Finally, we have the intrusive stage. This is where you start to test the vulnerabilities identified in the previous stages. You might try to exploit these weaknesses or simulate attacks to see how the system responds. It's crucial to note that this stage should only be carried out with proper authorization, as it can potentially disrupt the target system's operations. It's the equivalent of trying to pick the lock on a door you've identified as vulnerable. Each of these stages builds upon the last, providing a comprehensive picture of the target system's security posture. It's a meticulous process, a dance of observation, interaction, and testing. It's also worth noting that the process is cyclical. You might loop back to previous stages as you uncover new information or encounter unforeseen challenges. Remember, each stage is as important as the other, and skipping one might lead to an incomplete picture. Let's delve deeper into each stage, starting with passive information gathering. This stage is all about being a silent observer, studying information that is publicly available without alerting the target. It's like being a detective, analyzing clues without disturbing the scene. One of the popular methods is scouring the internet for any publicly available data. This might include things like company websites, public records, or forums where the target may have left a digital footprint. Then there's social media analysis. In today's hyper-connected world, a simple tweet or a Facebook post can reveal a lot. You'd be surprised at how much information people willingly share online. Lastly, we have network traffic analysis. By studying the data packets sent over a network, one can glean a wealth of information. Remember, while this stage doesn't involve any direct interaction with the target, it's crucial to extract as much information as possible. Passive information gathering, though subtle, can reveal a lot about your target. Moving on, we have active and intrusive information gathering. What sets them apart? Active information gathering is where we begin to make our presence known. Unlike passive gathering, where we're just a silent observer, active gathering involves direct interaction with the target system. We're now stepping into the spotlight, and as a result, the risk of detection is significantly higher. There are several methods used in active information gathering. One such method is scanning, a process that involves sending packets to the target and analyzing the responses to identify open ports and services. This can reveal a wealth of information, including what software is running on the target system and whether it's up to date or not. Another method is enumeration. This is where we delve deeper into the target system to gather more detailed information. We may look at network resources, user accounts, or shared files. The aim here is to map out the system and identify potential vulnerabilities. Now let's transition into intrusive information gathering. This is the most aggressive stage of information gathering. At this point, we're not just interacting with the target, we're actively trying to exploit its vulnerabilities. Methods used in this stage include vulnerability scanning and exploitation. Vulnerability scanning involves using automated tools to identify security weaknesses in the target system. Once these vulnerabilities are identified, we then move on to exploitation. This is where we attempt to gain unauthorized access to the system or its data. While these stages of information gathering carry more risk, the potential rewards are also greater. The detailed information we gather can be invaluable in planning and executing a successful penetration test. However, it's important to remember that with increased visibility comes increased risk. If detected, it could lead to the target strengthening their defenses, legal repercussions, or even a counterattack. In the world of cybersecurity, information is power. And while the methods we've discussed today are certainly not without risk, they can provide a wealth of valuable information. While these stages may carry more risk, their rewards in terms of valuable information can be substantial. So, what should you keep in mind about information gathering and pentesting? As we've learned, each stage of the process holds its own unique significance. The initial stages, though seemingly passive, lay the groundwork for the later, more intrusive stages. It's easy to be tempted to rush through, but remember, skipping a stage or rushing through it can lead to missed opportunities or worse, exposure. The passive information gathering stage is about collecting as much freely available information as possible. It's like putting together pieces of a puzzle without alerting anyone that you're even playing. Then comes the active and intrusive stages, where you interact with the system directly. These stages require skill, patience, and a keen eye for details. In essence, the process of information gathering is not a race, but a marathon. The value of thoroughness and patience cannot be overstated. In the world of pentesting, information is power, and gathering it effectively is the key to success.